hits the road. So we get very specific about the issues. We get very specific about what is in the mind of the brand owners from on a 360-degree kind of a perspective, and what can we do to actually address this issue, which is a very real issue, and the awareness of sustainability, the awareness of films, flexible films, over the last few years have gone from almost nothingness I have seen to be almost the center stage of any debate. So I think without talking about it too much, I don't want to invest more time on introducing people, but I want to say on the dais we've got people who are from the industry, who have worked on development, who have worked on design, who are hardcore mechanical engineers, who have run programs, something like War on Waste, for example, for more than a decade almost. And there's some good insights from there. There are people who are making the films, and therefore how that technology has changed over the years. So you've got a mix of great experience on the panel. I really look forward to next half an hour being an engaging one. I think a couple of points we all agree with, which is multi-layer laminates. I think the point was made very clearly in the morning session as well, where speaker after speaker essentially ended up making it simple with the plastics. Flexibles is an essential part of our economy today. We are at a very nascent stage of consumption, and it can only go up. It's a great material. It's a material which prolongs shelf life, material which does a whole number of things which I don't have to recount here. It is the irresponsible use of post-use plastic, segregation, collection, and eventual responsible disposal, which is a real issue. I think this is a fact we all need to grapple with various parts of this equation. Very clearly, plastics, this will require an approach which is the design approach. This will require an approach which is almost how people are planning their innovations as they look ahead. And at this stage, let me just invite maybe Yogesh to kick it off. I think what are companies, large companies like yours, thinking about the place of plastic in as innovations go ahead and as you grow? Yogesh.
Firstly and foremost, I could not agree more for the criticality and the urgency of really reducing for the usage of virgin plastic. And at Unilever, we are following the approach of less plastic, better plastic, and the no plastic. And this framework has really helped us to achieving our plastic goals. And maybe I will explain what exactly mean by this. So we'll start with the less plastic. And the less plastic aims, we have already reduced the packaging weight almost 1/5 by through the better design and even the lighter design and whatever the technological intervention we have done in the last couple of years. And in case of the better plastic, basically means for using of the recyclable plastic. And very happy to really share this, we have made very good progress in switching over to the recycled plastic. As of now, our HUL portfolio, we are using almost more than 70% recyclable plastic across the portfolio. And last bit one is the no plastic. Although I know this is ideal, but at the same time it is very difficult to eliminate the plastic. However, we got some success in eliminating the plastic. I will share our signing example of the smart fill centers which we have set up in Mumbai, and that enable consumer can bring their bottle and fill the home care liquid. We have also introduced few creams also where the consumer can recycle the outer jars. And recently we have launched a home care liquid pot which can go directly to the washing machine, and the intent is same we can eliminate the plastic. So we'll end with the saying that it's super important, and we have seen with this approach is really helping us.
Thank you, Yogesh. Maybe at this stage I can also invite Pradeep Kumar from Emami and talk a little bit. He is a professional from Indian Institute of Packaging. He leads the innovation for that of his portfolio for Emami. It will be good to get another perspective, sir, as to how do you see the design aspects coming in. Thank you.
Thank you. Very clearly on the how important the plastic is for the packaging industry. We all know that one sitting here, and we cannot deny that part. the plastic definitely helps us as a brand owner for giving all the values which is giving at a low weight, the better functionality, the low cost, easy to ship. All those basically the values which is create a lot of agility in using the plastic. So as a brand owner, this is definitely like is helping us to build our brand equity and all. And we, all the brand owners, I am very sure, like since morning we are hearing that point. Also, even from Emami point of view, we all are committed to ensure that these plastics are basically like managed properly, because the plastic is not a problem. The problem is, we heard that very clearly, is the waste. How the waste is being generated. In last 5 years, if you see the CPCB data, like around 3.5 million tons plastic waste being generated in the market. Per capita, around 700 gram to 2.5 kg, the plastic waste has gone up. How we are going to manage that is something which is critical, and as a community, as a fraternity of the packaging industry, we must look into that, and we all are looking with the help of the government support also in this one. Now the point here is, when we talk about the design part, like specifically like reducing the plastic is one of our core focus area. Like 3R, when we talk about reduce, reuse and recycle. Reduce is something which is very much in control of the brand people, where when we design something, how we can reduce the plastic consumption, which is definitely adding more values to our products also. But when it comes to the reuse and the recycle, that's where the partnership with the industry, with the converters and everything would be very, very critical. And that is what is, I have seen a significant growth since last 4-5 years. And I am sure like the way we are approaching towards that, India is going to lead on that front when it comes to the recycle or the reuse. As we heard Mr. Chatterjee also very clearly saying that one, yes, this is something where we must lead the world. And I am very confident on that front.
Thank you. Now changing track.
Both Yogesh ji and Pradeep ji talked about less plastic, but yes, there's one point that I would definitely like to make here as a packaging from India, is that Indian industry doesn't credit itself enough how less plastic we use. One of the points that the question has is, how can we reduce virgin plastic? That is the first R of recyclability, that is reduce. Now, I have the fortune of working with global customers across the regions, and I can say with enough confidence that our packaging in India is almost 20 to 30% thinner compared for a lakh to lakh across the world. It's the same Unilever packaging the same product in some other geography, and the structures are much thicker there. So, and the good thing that has happened is, over the years, because the brand owners has been challenging the packaging converters like us, all of us have evolved to respond to that by developing thinner and thinner structures. And that is a huge credit to this industry, I think. The second thing is, having said that, the second thing then comes to, what about packaging design? The way we at Huhtamaki, as well as everyone else, is looking at is basically through 3 steps. The first is monomaterialization. The second is recycling at scale, that is the enabler. And the third, which will be a result of that, is availability of PCR and PIR material to be used back. So currently, we are focusing, all of us, on the monomaterialization. And under that, if I can use, let's say, the proxy of Huhtamaki for the converting industry, then we have been focusing on our monomaterialization roadmap, which is under the umbrella of Blue Loop. And in the Interpack in May, we launched 3 solutions which are completely path-breaking in terms of what they offer. The first thing that they offer is highest monomaterial content. We now have solutions which are in the region of up to 90 to 95% monomaterial.
Very good.
Second that we have is that we are now in a position to offer aluminum foil based replacement without using aluminum foil, plastic based solutions without using that. And the third and most important part is, we are looking at how can we make this affordable at scale around the world. So as Huhtamaki, we are now in a position to offer this to global brand owners across the length and breadth of the geographies. That's how we are approaching this.
Yeah. Thank you, Ruturaj. You make a couple of very interesting points, but I hope Yogesh is noting the differences of the specification across various
Waste globally as well as in India is becoming a problem. Management of waste, let me correct it here. And among that, the plastic waste is even more a bigger problem. And the kind of negativity the plastic waste is getting globally as well as in India. And it is no far that plastic waste or plastic per se will be the next goal globally. In the plastic waste management, in ITCs, I'll talk to you through some ITCs perspective and what we have done in the last more than a decade or so. This is the, Mr. Pradeep Banerjee says, the war on waste. In ITC, we coined the word called well-being out of waste.
Yeah.
And this is the true sense of creating a circularity, not only for the plastic waste, but for the people or ecosystem around it. Having said that, way back in 2007, ITC started this flagship program called WOW, Well-being Out of Waste, with an objective of adding value to the society, adding value to the stakeholders. So what we started with a most difficult part, which is the behavioral change of the people or the customers like you and me. Awareness of source segregations and recycling is an unknown entity at those days. We talked about that, we created some, we facilitated them to creating or source segregating at source itself. Second big thing was our intent or objective was to create sustainable livelihood for the waste handler, be it a rag picker, be it a sorter, be it a recycler. Some kind of a sustainable livelihood through our program should flow through. And most importantly, conserve natural resource. The waste is actually going to landfill, waters and oceans. As much as you do this kind of a waste management program properly, the landfill loads will come down. Another thing is that our objective was to recover dry, recyclable resources like plastics, like papers, like glass, like metal. Encourage wet waste composting, because when you collect solid waste, some part will be also wet waste. Rather than throwing it to the landfill, if we compost, that useful material comes out of that. And most importantly, by doing all objectives, we wanted to create a Swachh Bharat.
The very good point you said, and it's a very important point as well. So as far as we are concerned, I can talk about ourselves. Kellogg is a world leader in breakfast, who take care of people's well-being with the nutrition. How can, Earth's well-being cannot be our agenda point. So this is very much priority for us. And not only at internal level, but externally also we have been very vocal about it. To our stakeholders, investors, shareholders. We are part of Ellen MacArthur Foundation, which talks about circular economy. We are very much active part of that. So we have all global commitment made, and we are there to honor that. And you guys will keep us honest for that. Second piece is we have a lot of flexibility within Kellogg, how we'll manage that whole sustainability piece. Because, Pradeep, to be very frank, regulations are different in each country. And for the global companies, this is very important to, comply with the law of land and also infrastructure, packaging, maturity of packaging industry, as well as kind of machine infrastructure we have, which should be able to run those kind of laminates. So those all things are kept, quite flexible for us. But how now we are doing this piece is, because end of the day, as someone has said in the starting itself, there is a cost attached to that. When you move for a conventional packaging material to a sustainable packaging material, there is a significant cost increase. And not only our internal consumer studies, but external also a lot of studies has been done, which clearly indicating that consumer want sustainable pack, but they are not willing to shell a single penny for that. So we have to figure it out at ourselves. So how we are trying to do that piece? We are looking at internal sources of how can we reduce cost. If you would have seen Kellogg iconic boxes that we have, and there's a pouch inside, laminate goes inside. We have converted those boxes, multi-packaging material to single packaging material. We are in the journey of converting that, and from 2020 we are doing that journey. and we have converted significant part of our portfolio into box and bag to only pouches, and able to save around 500 tons of packaging material, as well as I think whatever saving we got from that, we are investing back of sustainable laminate at this point of time. So we have converted major part of our portfolio. We'll continue doing rest of it as well. At the same time, we have recently launched some of the recyclable, pack, which can be, used multiple, which is a material, which is a mono material that we are using at this point. So that's also, step in that direction. So this is the way we are managing, within our cost structure, how can we, deliver that benefit without having additional pressure going to the consumer and out to our bottom line as well. Yeah, Pradeep.
Thank you. I think this is a great example of better plastic and lesser plastic, and less plastic and better plastic. I think it's a great actual innovation. I think one of the subjects which has become very popular is, and we have to touch, and Nidhi, my apologies, we have just touched, I think, half an hour of our allotted time.
India being the first country to land Chandrayaan 3 on South Pole of Moon. 18-year young Ramesh Babu Pragnada, runner-up in World Chess Championship. Recently, Neeraj Chopra has won the gold in athletics, and S&P World Rating has predicted India to be the fastest growing economy in the next 3 years. Pleased to share the power of our packaging. India's Chandrayaan mission has used specialized packaging to protect its instruments and payloads from harsh lunar environment. A specific 3-ply laminate was made to fabricate flexible hose to supply cool and clean air to the satellite for ISRO launch vehicles. So they need a great round of applause from all of us. Now touching the controversial transformative vision of bioplastic leading to fossil-free economy. Petroleum-based plastic product derived from fossil fuels and natural gases are definitely pervasive part of our society, but emit greenhouse gases responsible for climate change and global warming. If we say that the world is, this is one of the reasons that world is heading towards ecological credit crunch and humankind is under severe ecological debt. All this could have been avoided or at least minimized if we behaved with more maturity and responsibly, voluntarily, without waiting for any law enforcement. But we kept on waiting. But anyhow, jab jago tabhi savera. So from ecology point of view, bioplastics, PLAs, PHAs or cellulose based are derived from renewable biomass resources such as plants of sugarcane, wheat, maize, wood chips, algae, bacteria that are designed to biodegrade itself. As per latest BCG study, they emit 60% less greenhouse gas into environment, but still they enjoy only 1% of market share in total plastic requirement globally. But with increasing consumer awareness, requirement of sustainable plastic products and government regulations, this market is expected to increase at a CAGR of 9.